We going to work? You coming? Okay, let's go. I need to clean up my scrap pile. And this is just one of two. This is the small one. Hey, welcome back to the shop. I'm Chris, you're watching Show Me Repair. Today we got quite a bit going on. I'm just gonna basically bring you along because I've got so much going on. There's really not, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll make videos like this more often. Who knows? I'm trying something new, I guess I should say. I've got, let's see, an F350 that I need to do an oil change. Look at, he thinks he's got a U-joint out on it. What else I got? I got an F250 that's got a no start cold, and that's not even cold, like we're in the mid 50s or so right now. We've got this Explorer here. This is a 16 Explorer. They are having issues with the HVAC system. If you remember when I worked on Evan from Country View Acres, his Edge, it is having a similar issue with the automatic temperature control where one side blows different than the other and it takes a while for it to react. So I suspect we're probably gonna find codes in that one. After that, we got this Audi A4. It's got coolant leaks and I'll be doing a water pump and several things on that. So we're just gonna basically go over all this stuff. I'll just bring you along working on it. We're gonna try to get as much as we can done in the next several days. Yesterday, my wife just got off work from doing a 3-day shift, so 3 12-hour shifts, and I was watching my son, so I don't get any chance to really get any work done. So now it's crunch time for me. It's my time to work, and it's a Saturday, the 8th, November 8th. It's basically 12 o'clock. We did a breakfast this morning, so with family at a family's church. So we're getting a late start, but you know what? I enjoyed the morning, had a good breakfast. So if I have to work late, who cares? No codes in the system for the HVAC on this Explorer, but the vent, the air coming out of the driver's side vents feels warmer than the passenger side. And right now I put my thermometer in the right vent to read the temperature to see how close it is to what I'm requesting, and then I'll switch it over to the driver's side. I say that it's in the passenger side, then once it stabilizes, I'll switch it over to the driver's side. Okay, it's weird, but we're reading, what is that, 81? It's still slowly going up, but man, I got this thing set on 72. So that seems a little crazy. And then that's the cooler side. So we're around 82, stabilize at 92. So it's 10 degrees warmer and you can feel it. So I think the next step I want to do is pull the motor out. You're always waiting for me. Where are we going? Oh, you think I'm gonna start it? I'm not. Sorry, I'm letting you down, I know. Does anybody else have a coffee addiction? I have to drink coffee all day. I don't think it's because I'm tired. I don't know. Just, I guess it's that one thing that I feel like I can indulge in and it really doesn't hurt anything. Okay, first thing we want to check. So I suspect it is the FICM because once it started, it's actually like high 50s today. So even low 60s. When it gets cold out, the FICM can start having issues firing the injectors. I couldn't tell you why that is other than I know that you can induce this problem if you suspect it by, it's a direct input to the strategy. And one way I was taught by Ford was years ago, and I don't even know if it's in their diagnosis, but it was in TSBs. You'll pull the oil temp sensor on the oil cooler housing, and if you get a resistor box that can allow you to change the resistor, you'll pull up a scan tool, you'll look at your temperature, and you'll, I can't remember what the ohms were that box we would always set it to. I need to buy one, those things are handy. You would set it to whatever resistance to make the oil temp sensor think that it was below 50 degrees. And then you would cycle the key, and you would watch what if anybody's familiar with this, you'd watch the FICM M power. So it's the main power that the FICM fuel injection control module is putting out to the injectors. And if it starts dropping below, I believe it was like 47, I think the goal, these are 48 volt FICMs. And if you'd start getting, if I remember correctly, below like 47 volts, 46 and a half, something like that, and it would normally, if it would dip and come right back, you might have a weak FICM or the capacitors in the FICM. But the real thing was if you would start seeing it, basically it would just keep dropping until it maybe dipped into the low 40s or into the 30s and then come back up. That wasn't good, because basically that's energy powering the injectors, and if the FICM cannot do that while cranking, then obviously there's an issue. This one I did not notice that, but I have still seen FICMs over the years having an issue. Anyway, I went off on a longer spiel than I wanted to. There's different diesels out there. Some use different ways to heat the air coming into the engine on cold days. That was kind of one of the always the problems with diesels years ago, was starting in cold weather. Once you got them fired up, people didn't want to shut them off. New diesels, I'd say 2008, 2010, that's changed drastically. And the injection systems can actually fire a lot of times without the glow plugs or grid heaters in the intake, and it's pretty impressive, but they still have them just for, basically, it's good to assist, because they'll also cycle those grid heaters and glow plugs. If some of my glow plugs are not working and it starts getting this cool, this engine could be, warm natured, to where it just starts better warm. And once it starts getting cold, it does not, I think I said that wording right, correct me if I'm wrong, it may just not like cold weather. And so it may be one of those engines that it just really needs the glow plugs. So before I just go and condemn the FICM, because I don't have any other way to test, like I said, I need to get one of those resistor boxes, I'm going to check to make sure the glow plugs are, for one, all working. So I'm going to put power to each glow plug, and if it lights up this bulb, then we know it's good. If it does not light the bulb, it's bad. Also, I'm going to check to make sure that the FICM module, which sits on the passenger valve cover, is putting out voltage to all 8 glow plugs. I've checked codes. I don't have any codes for glow plugs, but it's still a good thing to check. Struggle. Okay, I'm disconnecting the electrical connector for the driver's bank, and I'll show you what, well, I think I've shown this in videos before, so I really don't know if I need to show it, but what I do is I take this light bulb, I got 2 wires, doesn't matter which way. I'm going to plug one side to power. Okay, I got power. We'll make sure we light up the bulb. Perfect. Ooh. There's probably our 3 out of the 4 on this side are not lighting up. That could easily be our issue. Why did I not have codes for that? Why is it the harness or is it the glow plug? So now we gotta make sure our harness isn't damaged, and this is why we test stuff. Okay, let's check this side. No. No. Okay, I've got to have an issue. Am I on the wrong side? No, that's the... Man, That many glow plugs out? Wow. One out of the 8 work. That will definitely keep a 6-liter from starting cold. If I'd imagine this is a warm-natured engine, just the way it acts. Some 6.0s can still start cold, like that. It just goes along with maintenance and everything. I really don't know. I'm not gonna go any longer trying to explain because I really don't know what causes it. Okay, so this is the glow plug harness. The left and right look pretty similar, just one's a little longer. This is what the connectors look like. I don't know if you guys can get a good look. This slides through the what would be considered the rocker box. And the glow plug just plugs into the end like that. Got a little O-ring here to seal the rocker box. And so this, if we look, this one broke. It was the first one. The rest of them I actually got out without breaking. And the way this works is this little tool right here. I think you can buy them at O'Reilly now. Used to, it was only a Ford thing or an OTC. I put the bend in it, so it's normally straight, but I put the bend in it so it fits under the HVAC box, and it slides in just like that. And over time, we all know plastic gets brittle, and that's what happens. It breaks. It's just, I've sprayed penetrating fluid on these things before and tried all kinds of stuff. Some come out easy, some break. I thought I did ball joints on this truck, and the upper ball joints worn out. I know I did ball joints on this side. This side's tight. The U-joint bad. Pretty obvious. Okay, got the F350. Oil change isn't done, but it needs quite a bit of other work, and oil change is nothing, I can't do. And this is gonna need left front ball joints. The upper one's definitely got play. The lower one appears to be tighter from what I can tell, or no movement at all. But with that knuckle moving, it's kind of hard to tell. And the other thing is, a lot of people will go, well, can you just replace that one? Well, the amount of work it takes that you have to get to removing that knuckle, there's no real extra labor for replacing both ball joints. It's actually kind of a nuisance, because you'll remove the lower one and then it allows you to put the ball joint press in and remove the upper, and it makes it an easier process. I mean, can it be done without? Yes, but it's just from my experience. You're there, the parts usually, the lower ball joint is probably around 30, 40 bucks. Well, would you want to pay that labor again just to do the lower one when it goes bad? That's kind of my thought. U-joint on the right side is bad. I showed you that. I'll probably do the U-joint on the driver's side as well while I'm doing those ball joints. I know we did the right front ball joints over a year ago. Right lower tie rod is loose. Brakes look good all the way around, and I don't think there's anything. U-joints on the rear drive shaft. All of these seals are busted, and the rear ones, actually, you can tell it's rusting in the bearing area. So it needs all U-joints there. On the passenger side, all 4 glow plugs and a new harness. I'll show you, we got one side of the bulb to power. And my little thing came loose. Oh, window must blew you guys over. There, we got good, let's double check. Good light on all 4, so those 4 are taken care of. I'll do the driver's side now off camera, get that knocked out, and then I can make sure this thing fires up and recheck it in the morning. Hope my heater kicked on. Probably out of oil. See if it starts. I'm gonna cycle the glow plugs a couple times. The batteries may be too weak. No, batteries are a little weak, but it's definitely not hitting. I'll tell you what, the best piece of equipment I bought is that heater. I mean, I'm gonna bump it up to 60. That thing, keeps my shop nice and warm. Well, unless it runs out of oil, which it happens, but I feel like the tank should have been bigger on that. I think it's like an 8-gallon, but I don't know, it's still definitely worth it. Day 2, what day today would be? November 9th. We're about 8:30 in the morning. It's Sunday, and I try not to work too much on Sundays, but sometimes you just have to. And today we have this Audi. I have to have it done today because I want it to be ready for the customer Monday morning. But before we get started on this, I've got that Explorer. They were complaining that the AC wasn't getting cold enough. And from the blend doors may have a little bit to do with it, but they were thinking maybe it was low on charge. So I'm just gonna pull it in, hook the gauges up to it, watch it, the pressures, and maybe just add a little bit just to see what it does. And that way, at least I did that. Also, we'll check for leaks just to be on the safe side, you know. Now I did notice, I don't know if you guys can see, there's a little bit of green in there. That's the dye from the AC system. That could be, this system could be a little low, and that's a sign of it. We don't have any staining further down, so it could just be from somebody else doing some work on this and injecting some dye. So it's just something to note. Seems a little low. Only 50 PSI. Seems a little on the low side. So we just saw the gauges were reading, what was it, the high side, which was the red one, the red gauge on the right was reading around 50. The low side, the blue one, was around, what was it, 30, somewhere in there. I'll have to look at the video, I'll update it. But I know it was actually going lower pressure, which you want. That's the suction side of the compressor. The blue is the suction side, the red is the pressure side discharge. My low side was looking pretty good, my high side was looking low. Now, because the temperatures are so low right now, temperature wise, ambient temperature, even in my shop, is probably only about 55. Our readings can be off from what I'm used to seeing whenever I watch AC in the summertime, where it be 70 or above. And even whenever I refer to charts, Ford thankfully has charts that I can look at that says where the proper pressure should be related to the temperature. And the suction side of this, on those charts, they don't show a proper pressure reading below 70 degrees. So it's 70 all the way up to, I think, 100 or something like that. So I don't really have anything to go off of, but my gut is telling me that the system's a little low. And yesterday when we were sitting in the car watching the temperatures, it didn't, on a cool 60-degree day, that AC should run you out of the vehicle. It should be easily get into the 40s, personally, my opinion. And it should run you out to where you can't run it very long. And I was running it full blast for quite a while with the window up and was comfortable in there. Okay, I've been using a black light, but I'll just show you guys. I'm not seeing any signs of leaks anywhere around the compressor. If we look in here at our condenser, there's some matting of something up in there on the condenser. That may give you a better view. Whereas the rest of the condenser is relatively clean. So could we have a small leak in that condenser? Possibly. I used a black light on it and it's not showing any dye, but that doesn't really always mean anything. Basically, I opened up my low side to suck the Freon in, and I'm watching in this window and listening to the can to know that I've got the valve pushed in on this resealing can properly, so then I get flow. So as the AC compressor cycles, it's sucking more in. But it's about done. I bet you that's about all we're gonna get. Or if the temperature's got up to normal, like 70 degrees, this may be overcharged. Well, I got the AC on max, and you can see it's already dropping. It's already down to 50 degrees, so it's colder than yesterday in this vent, because I think all we got down to was 55. We're already down to 48, getting down to 42, so. First thing I'm going to do is take this out so I can get more access down here behind the alternator and under the intake manifold, because that's where the water pump is. It's mounted on the side of the block. Got a coolant level sensor down here. Got another quick connect. And the belt cover is right here. So I've got a screw here, here. I thought I had a third. I think it may just be 2. There we are. You guys can see what that covers. So that water pump drive gear has a 12mm bolt. You can see it down there at the bottom. It's a left-hand thread bolt, and you can take it loose with a wrench and work it off. But then torquing it is difficult because you need I think you could possibly use a crow's foot, but it may not hold. I can't remember the torque. I'm trying to find the torque, but I took a socket and I shaved it down really far to where I could get a larger crow's foot on it. And I think that's what I used. So we're gonna try to make this happen again. It's been a while. I can't remember. There, I think I got it. Yep, got it. I mean, it's a neat design, but geez. Yeah, this is what I ran into last time, is I couldn't get the socket off, and I think it messed up. Okay, there we are. Now let's see if we can. Okay. Okay, got it off. That's what it looks like. It's not even keyed, it's just kind of a compression fit. So torque is a must. That belt really doesn't look that bad. Relatively new. I don't see a date code or anything on it. Oh. Day 6/12? So maybe that's of 121. So is that maybe January? I don't know. Okay. Now let's get the pump out. I'll get this long lower one that's relatively easy to get to. And that one acting like it's rusted. I think we're loose. It slides out from the oil cooler. That's it. Okay, this one, I'm replacing this one because we had quite a bit leaking, and I know these are an issue, and this customer just wants to take care of stuff, preventive maintenance. He likes to do that, and you can see this pump was leaking. We got some junk here. There's that barbell I was talking about. Got a new one of those. Okay, let's clean it up and put the new one in. Got the new water pump in. Everything's in. I still got the guard on there. The belt's on. The pump is tightened down to the block, and I was trying to figure out how to torque it. And that's where I remember I ran into this in the last one, is I made that special socket, but I don't have a crow's foot to actually reach down in there, because the crow's foot is only basically from my finger up to the open end of a, that, if you know what a crow's foot is. Let me show you. This is what I've always been told, this is what these are called. It's crow's foot. It's the open end of a wrench with a socket adapter built onto it. and I don't have one long enough. So I'm gonna just snug this thing down, get a feel for it. I knew how tight it was, so I'll have an idea. There's a special tool, torque wrench, that Audi VW makes that fits in there properly, and you break it loose with the torque wrench and you tighten it with the torque wrench. The weird thing is the torque wrench, in the instructions, it doesn't say anything about torquing for this particular model, but if I go search online for this engine, you can find that it's 10 Newton meters and 90 degrees from that. So it's got a little bit of a torque to it. So I'm just gonna snug it down where it feels good to me, and I'll continue on. Okay, I left off, I think, putting everything back. I can't remember where I left off, but the big part of putting this water pump on was not having the special tool to torque the water pump drive belt pulley. The little pulley that we pulled off, it had a left-hand thread on it. I believe it's a 12 millimeter, and I made my own little socket that then I could get a 15 millimeter wrench on it, and it gives a better bite. But my problem was I couldn't figure out how to torque it properly. And I'll admit, on the last one I did that I made that tool, that I actually changed the belt out, I just snugged it up what felt like it was correct, drove it, everything's good. I've not had any issues. My luck now, I'll get a phone call tomorrow. But I want to torque this one. So I was going back and forth, how am I gonna do this? Okay, so I figured it out. It's pretty simple. The one expensive thing you'll need is obviously a torque wrench that can do degrees or can do Newton meters, but most torque wrenches you can convert. So you need your 15 millimeter wrench, okay? You need a torque wrench, and then you need a 3/8 to 1/2 inch adapter. The only problem with this is it may not work for you because you don't have the socket that takes a 15 millimeter, but you can make it. 1/2 inch fits perfectly on a 15 millimeter. So I made myself a little torque adapter just by that. Now, is that going to be perfectly 10 Newton meters? No, it's actually going to increase my torque because of the leverage. But I'm not really worried about that because I want to make sure I at least hit the torque of around 10 Newton meters. And then from what I'm seeing is I need to torque that bolt another 90 degrees. So I've hit 10 Newton meters. Now I'm going to mark the bolt and try to spin it 90 degrees. Okay, I'm going to mark that and my socket because so I need to go 90. Let's see if we can. I need to make sure I go the right way here. Tightening's to the left because it's a reverse thread. It's not working. Am I right? No, I'm going the wrong way. Damn it. I need to go down. Whew. The pulley is going with the... Oh man. I'll tell you what, engineers can overcomplicate stuff. Why not put the belt guide on the water pump and then it could just ride on the pulley down there and you'd never have to take it loose? I don't know, that... Why not? Okay, there's 10 Newton meters. Then we need to do 90. And I'm trying to keep the damn thing from spinning. Okay, let's see if we can torque this thing 90 degrees. I lost my wrench. It's in my pocket. 10 degrees. and resets rather quickly. Yep, already reset. $36 degrees. So 46 degrees. $20, $40, $60. I'm gonna do a little bit more. There, another 20. That should be good. We're about 80. We know it's torqued to a degree anyway. Better than just by hand, and I'm guessing. I feel more confident. Put this cover back on. Okay, just got back from driving the Audi. I didn't drive it far. I just wanted to basically burp the system. And these actually, nice thing is you don't have to use a radiator fill thing, tool, whatever. Basically where you put it on here, you pull a vacuum with air, and then you suck it in. These bleed themselves very easily. So this is a 13 Audi A4 with a 2-liter turbocharged engine. They bleed themselves. All the ones I've done, they bleed themselves very easily, so there's no issues there. Drove it, topped off the coolant, checked over everything, make sure everything was good. When I was driving it, made sure I was getting heat out of my HVAC, because I believe that's what the auxiliary, I could be wrong, but I was getting heat. At first I wasn't, so I was making sure that was working. Now I am pressure testing it just to make sure I don't have any, it's still sitting at 18. So as I've been talking here for about a minute, so I'll let that sit on there for probably 10 minutes. And if the pressure hasn't really dropped and I don't see anything, I'd say we're good to go. And I'll take this thing on a much longer drive, make sure we're good, get it back to the customer. And this is actually end of day 2 of getting work done, and I've not gotten a whole lot done, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Because the truck yesterday with the glow plugs didn't pan out. It's trying to start, but I need to swap out the Fickum, and I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow. I've got one more day till my wife goes back to work, and I'm gonna try to get a couple things done. A couple more things other than this Audi.